What up, guys? Welcome back. Today I am discussing the infamous menstrual cup. Now there's a lot of information to cover, so I've decided to break up this topic in a couple different videos. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what exactly is a menstrual cup and the pros and cons of having one. I tried to record this video a couple weeks ago with all of the information that I wanted to share all in one video. It was just a lot, so we're going to break it up into a couple different ones. Basically what I'm saying is no one wants to sit through a 25-minute video about a menstrual cup. And you might be thinking, why would you want to talk so much about a menstrual cup? What is the big deal? Well, I've seen other people talk about it on YouTube, online, and I just don't think people cover everything there is to know about the menstrual cup. And I think it's all stuff that's very important to know before you buy one, before you start using it, just so it's easier to adjust to, because it's different. It's way different than using a tampon or a pad. So let's get right into the video. What the hell is this thing? You've probably been hearing people talk about this. It's the latest trending thing on the internet and social media. A menstrual cup is pretty self-explanatory. It's an alternative to a pad or a tampon. It catches the blood from your menstrual cycle. Just a little bit about my cup that I have. It's a lunette cup, and it comes in this cute little baggie. And the little pamphlet that comes inside of it says, "Your vagina's new best friend." And I just love that. Great marketing. And it really is true. I freaking love this thing, and I will never go back to using tampons. So how it works is you basically fold it up into all these different shapes, whatever works for you, insert it in, and it catches all your period blood. I will get into the techniques and the technicalities of actually inserting it and taking it out, because it is more complicated than you think. But trust me, the learning curve is so worth it in the end. And you might be thinking, ew, why would I want to deal with my actual period blood that intimately? Well, it's actually not as bad as you think, and it's your own period blood, so get over it. Maybe that's a little harsh. Don't get over it. Just listen to this video, listen to the pros and cons, watch my other videos on the menstrual cup, and see if it's right for you. I definitely recommend just trying it at least once, or, give it a few months, because it takes a little bit of time to get the hang of it. So, the pros and cons of using a menstrual cup. I'll start with the pros. The first one being it's cost effective. According to the internet, women spend on average about $120 a year on menstrual products. So if you think about the amount of time that a woman menstruates her entire life, which is usually about 40 years, that adds up to $4,800 their entire life that they're spending on menstrual products. Not a huge number, but not an insignificant one either. The second pro, and this is a pretty obvious one, is that it's good for the environment. Tampons, pads, all that stuff. Think about how many get used a day in the world. It's a lot. Those are all going into landfills, and I'm pretty sure they don't disintegrate into the soil very well. So they help the planet, which is amazing. Another pro is that they last for a really long time, years. Some websites say that they last even up to 10 years. Now that depends on how well you take care of your menstrual cup. If you take care of it really well, if you clean it well in between uses, then it will last for a very long time. But I think on average, and this is just me guesstimating, I would say it probably lasts 3 to 5 years on average for just, an average woman. Now, it might last 10 years. I don't know, because I haven't had mine for 10 years, so I'll let you know. That's pretty amazing. You never have to worry about buying tampons for years. You don't have to worry about, oh my god, I'm out of tampons. Let me run to Costco. Let me run to CVS to get a box. Do you have a tampon that I can borrow? You don't have to worry about that. You can just carry your little menstrual cup around in your baggie, in your purse. Another pro is that you have no risk of getting toxic shock syndrome, which is always a plus. I know that all of you tampon wearers out there, after about the 4-hour mark that you have it in, you're going on 5 or 6 hours, sometimes longer, and you're just sitting there stressing the fuck out. You're like, oh my God, when am I gonna feel this stabbing pain in my vagina because it's poisoned by toxic shock syndrome? Well, fear no more, friends, because the menstrual cup is here to save the day. That brings me to my next pro. Instead of changing it every 4 hours like a tampon or pad, you can change it every 12 hours. Obviously, that depends on your flow. If you have like the Red Sea coming out of your vagina, you might have to change it a little more often, but you can keep it in for over 12 hours. I've kept mine in for 24 hours. You can do that. It's fine because you don't have to worry about getting infected down there with things. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you have a tampon in, it absorbs more than just your blood. It absorbs all of the vaginal fluid in there. And this can really disturb the bacterial and pH balance in your vagina. Because vaginas are magical things. They clean themselves. They're just cool. It's also really great for traveling. If you are on a flight for 9-10 hours, or if you're taking a really long road trip, you don't have to worry about stopping every few hours to change your tampon. You don't have to worry about it leaking everywhere. It's so nice to not have that stress and anxiety surrounding your period. You literally insert the menstrual cup and forget that you even have it in. It's amazing. And then the last pro that I wanted to talk about is that you learn more about your body and your menstrual cycle. You get really up close and personal with your vaginal fluid and your blood that comes out every month during your period, and you learn the texture of the blood, the viscosity of it, the color of it. And that might sound gross, but since it's your own period blood, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of empowering to have that knowledge. And I don't know, you just kind of feel more in control of your body. And I think if you're grossed out by your period in general and having to touch your blood and all that stuff, I think it's more of a societal pressure to think that way, and it really sucks because I think we should move away from that mindset that having your period is gross or you should be ashamed of it, or when you go to the bathroom you should take your purse with you because heaven forbid someone sees your tampon that you're holding in your hand. It's a natural thing that happens to all women, and we really need to stop making it such a taboo. Own your period, ladies. Be proud of it. I mean, don't go like throwing around tampons or period blood everywhere, but don't be embarrassed about it. Don't be shameful of it. So now on to the cons of having and using a menstrual cup. The first one being the ick factor and the grossness of it, which I just addressed. Some people aren't into that. And yes, you do have to dump out the contents of the cup, the blood, into the toilet and then rinse it out in the sink. And that is a little much for some people. It takes a little getting used to. The second con being the learning curve involved. It is very different than inserting a tampon into your vagina. I will get into more of that in the second installment of this topic. It took me 2 or 3 cycles to really feel comfortable putting in and taking out my menstrual cup without it leaking or anything going wrong. Then the last con that I wanted to talk about is fitting issues. If you have a unique uterus or a differently positioned cervix, then you might have issues fitting correctly, or a menstrual cup correctly fitting inside of you so that it doesn't leak or feel weird and uncomfortable inside of you. Thanks so much for tuning in to part 1, all about the menstrual cup. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some helpful information and tidbits and a little bit of insight into what this thing actually is. And I hope you stay tuned for part 2. It'll be out next week. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Yo!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to More Salt. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade sushi without using a sushi mat.